guys, welcome to Single Chef. I am Matt Skollar. I'm your host of Single Chef. I'm your classic single guy with the classic single guy fridge and ingredients. The difference is I know how to use these items simply and quickly to create a tasty meal you just can't mess up. So good that even a woman will be impressed. If you can't take my word for it, you can't not take our lovely Lily's word for it, right, Lily?
That's right, Matt.
Yeah.
Taste that food and tell it like it is. Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Well, tonight, Lily, I don't know, have you ever had tuna pasta before?
No. I've never had tuna pasta, but I've heard the word on the street is that it's a little inedible.
What?
So you are going to have to prove that wrong.
All right. So the word on the street. What street is this? Is that your street where you grew up on?
It's the Maslin-Kaziska residence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently it doesn't sound that appetizing at home. Well, this is an old recipe that goes way back, and I'll explain that in a minute. But I'll have to try and see if we can flip that for the Kaziska family. As always, guys, I'm going to be choosing from my 10 single guy ingredients, and just to go over that list again real quick. I've got some Worcestershire sauce, some soy sauce. I got my ketchup, Heinz ketchup, by the way. I've got red hot sauce. I've got mustard, salt and pepper, my canola oil, a little garlic powder back here, and of course the ringer. We'll be using some of this tonight, a little Thousand Island dressing. Get some, guys, all right? Now, plus what I went shopping for today, I keep it really cheap. I got a couple cans of tuna. If you're just cooking for yourself, you just need one can of tuna. I'm cooking for a few people tonight, so I have more than one. I've got some penne pasta. I got some Italian breadcrumbs. I have some bread and butter pickles. That's right, bread and butter pickles. Those are sweet pickles. I've got a lemon. I got an onion. And I got Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. That's right, Campbell's. All right, so I'm hungry like the wolf. I'm sporting a new lid. I got my summer lid on. I'm high and tight. I'm ready to rock and roll. You hungry?
I'm starving, and I got new color in my hair.
And you got new color hair, so we got a whole hair thing going on the set of Single Chef. Let's get this show on the road, guys, all right? First thing, we're going to take our pasta. I've got my water boiling over here already, and I'm going to start cooking this pasta. I'm going to take a little bit of my canola oil, throw it in there so it doesn't stick, and we'll be cooking some pasta, all right? Now, I'm going to give you guys a little brief, history about the tuna pasta. Oh, by the way, as always, if you have any questions, we're here live in theroom.com, theroomlive.com. Lily's on her computer, so if you have any questions, ask her a question. She'll shoot it over to me. We'll answer the question, okay? So, let me throw this box of pasta in here. I'm using the whole thing. I'm also just going to add a little salt just for a little flavor, okay? So that's a little kosher salt I just threw in there. You could use regular salt if you have it, doesn't matter. And just mix it a little bit. And I'll be stirring that pasta occasionally so it doesn't stick together. You never want your pasta to stick together. That's rule one when it comes to cooking pasta. Keep a close eye on the pasta. Okay, so tuna pasta. We all know what tuna fish is. We all know what pasta is. Maybe some of us have mixed the two together. Maybe some of us haven't. When I was a kid, I'd say like high school, hanging out with my buddies, we were learning, I guess, recipes that were like high in protein and that also, tasted pretty good because we were like lifting weights back then and we're trying to get all swelled up so we can walk around like that and everything because we were little dudes. I was a $135 soaking wet. So someone turned us on to the whole tuna pasta thing. And, we would make this religiously. Like after our gym workout, we'd after like staring in the mirror and looking how still small we were, but hoping we were big, we'd make some tuna pasta, and it kind of became just a thing, like I guess you could say like a fond memory now that I look back on it of when I was a kid, and this became something that I started cooking. It's evolved over the years. A lot of you single guys out there, you may just have a can of tuna and just put some mayo in it and whip it up, and that's your tuna fish. Well, I'm going to show you tonight on this show how to add a few little things, guys, really simple, but you're going to jazz up that tuna so it's going to really pop, it's going to kick some butt, okay? So, while our pasta is cooking, the first thing I want to do here is, I've got a few things. I'm going to start with this onion. It's a sweet red onion, so I'm just going to cut that up first, okay? So what you want to do is you want to cut both ends, and you want to just kind of go like that on both sides. I'll show you on camera here. And that way you get the skin off, and it makes your life a lot easier because that skin is just annoying. And just like that, take the skin off. Sort of just like that. All right, there it is. And we throw that away. Again, if you have any questions there, or you're watching the show live, so feel free to type in a question to Lily. If you haven't registered, it takes about 30 seconds. Register on theroomlive.com, and then you can ask us questions. Okay, so I'm just going to cut some of this onion up. A couple of those, maybe one more. We'll do 3 slices. So as I went into college, to continue on the whole tuna pasta story, and it kind of all relates to the whole working out thing. I guess I was a little kid in high school, and I wanted to gain some weight. And when you're a freshman in college, it's real easy to do, especially if you've stolen a stamp from Subway and you can punch a bunch of free stamps on Subway cards and eat Subway free every day, which I did. But I don't recommend stealing. But when you're a kid, you know, it was fun. But anyway, the point of the story is that the tuna pasta started evolving a little bit in college. So we went from just mayonnaise and tuna fish to one of my buddies in Florida is like, hey, Matt, you ever tried Italian breadcrumbs in your tuna? I said, what do you mean Italian breadcrumbs? Never thought of that. Try it, bro. It'll add a little taste, it'll add a little texture, and a little flavor to your tuna. So that's where the Italian breadcrumbs come into play. This is college Italian breadcrumbs. As I got older, and you know, got on my own and was living in New York City, one day I decided, you know, I didn't have relish. So what's relish? Relish is basically pickles, you know? It's pickles chopped up. These are bread and butter pickles. Bread and butter are, they're sweet. So I chopped up some pickles and I added it with some of my onion, some of my mayo, and some of my breadcrumbs. And I said, wow, that tastes pretty damn good. So this has become, this is the evolution of the tuna pasta. So we have this. We also have a can of cream of mushroom soup. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this later, but that's going to add another element to it. So hopefully you're seeing like how simple the layers are, but each little one is going to add some awesome consistency. So let's open up these cans of Star-Kissed tuna, and we're going to start mixing it up in our bowl right here. So you get yourself a big bowl if you have one at home. Open up your tuna, drain the water. If you have tuna in water, if you have tuna in oil, you can drain that too. You don't have to drain all of it, but with the water, you want to drain it all because we don't want our tuna to be soggy, right? Okay, so I'm just going to drain some of that in here.
Matt, we have our first question.
Excellent. I'm gonna stir the pasta.
Yep.
Remember I said stir the pasta? While we go over the question.
Stacy, who is one of my mom's friends,
wants
to know if this will work for single women also.
I'm sorry, Stacy, it won't.
But she says she's
no, I'm
open.
Just kidding. I'm
she
joking.
says she's open to tuna pasta.
You know what? Yeah, of course. This is not only for single guys, for single girls. Absolutely. You can make this, and you can really impress a guy, especially if he's a musclehead who's coming straight from the gym. He'll really be impressed by this. But absolutely, Stacy, if you've never made this before, go ahead, get yourself, like, copy down this recipe and go ahead and try it. You'll be surprised. It's not such a, you know, it's not just for guys. Yes. That was a long way of saying yes, you can make that too. Absolutely. So I'm taking this tuna, I'm just kind of breaking it down a little bit. Well, let me put both cans in first so we can do both. Keep the questions coming, guys, if you have any. Feel free to shoot them our way. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm doing more than one because I'm feeding a few people here tonight. We've got some our lovely guests and executive producers here in the room, so we're gonna feed everyone here tonight. So let me drain the water out of that.
Foodie Jesse wants to know if tuna in water is better than tuna in oil.
Is that a question or a statement?
Wants to know.
Oh, wants to know which is better.
Yeah, which is better.
Oh, okay. I prefer tuna in water because then I can decide how much, you know, mayonnaise, or if I want to add some olive oil or whatever to it. If it's already in oil, it's already kind of decided for me. You know what I mean? And it's a little greasier. I prefer to add my own fat to it, if you will. So yeah, I prefer the water. Water. Okay, so I got all this tuna here. I can hear that my pasta is boiling back there, so that's good. It's going to take about, 8 to 10 minutes at least for that penne to boil. So I'm just breaking this down. Show you on camera here. Okay. And you could do this with a fork. If you have a fork, you do it with a spoon. As long as you got an utensil that can get into that tuna. So that's looking okay for now. I'm going to take these onions that I just cut, throw them in there. I cut big pieces of onion. You could cut them really smaller if you want. Again, on Single Chef, there are no rules or regulations. We kind of just, I kind of just cook the way you know, however I'm feeling that day. And on this day, I'm feeling like some bigger pieces of onion, but you know, you can make them smaller if you want. Got mayonnaise here. You need some mayonnaise if you're gonna, you know, for tuna. You could do low-fat mayo. You could do canola mayo. I'm just doing regular mayo. Most single guys just have a jar of mayo in their fridge, so that's what we're doing here. And again, I don't measure, but I have 2 big cans in there, so I'm gonna put, that's probably a quarter of a cup. Maybe put a little bit more. Okay. Now, Italian breadcrumbs. This came in college. My buddy Phil in college. If you're watching, buddy, appreciate the tip because that's always come in handy for me. So I'm going to throw these breadcrumbs in. I'd say maybe that much. Okay. Maybe a little more. There we go. All right. So I got my bread and butter pickles. So a lot of times when you make, when I used to make tuna before the bread and butter pickle days, I would use vinegar. And vinegar works just great, but these pickles are treated in some vinegar, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, actually, let me just move some of this stuff aside here so you can see what I'm doing here on camera. Okay, let me show you guys what I'm doing. I'm taking these pickles and I'm just chopping them into little pieces. Okay. So Lily, you mentioned in your household that you never had the combination of tuna or pasta. Never. Did you eat tuna fish growing up?
Yeah.
And how was that prepared? Like a sandwich type of deal?
Yeah, tuna salad sandwich.
Okay.
Tuna, mayo, relish.
Relish?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. What else? Suppose I could ask Mom right now.
Yeah. Is she online?
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. So you're a Southern California girl. I'm from New York. This may be more of an East Coast type of thing. I don't know. You tell me. Have you, like, any of your guy friends growing up, did they ever like say, yeah, you make some tuna pasta? But maybe not with the accent. Like, you know, did they ever say, like,
I've never even heard of tuna pasta.
Really?
Until you mentioned it.
All right, cool.
Last week.
Cool. So then I asked the question, if you've never heard of it, how can Mom just poo-poo it like that?
She has been around longer than I have.
Okay.
And, yeah.
It's all right. But
and it was something, clearly she didn't like it, so she never brought it into my life.
Gotcha. So will you be honest with me? Which I know you will be. If this kicks ass, you're going to tell Mom, yo, Mom, check it. You're going to have to try some someday?
I'll make it for her.
Will you really?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Or I'll bring you over to make it for her.
All right, even better. Okay. I know I met your mom. Your mom's a sweetheart. I'll be more than happy to prove her wrong. So I am cutting up a bunch of pickles here. What I want to do is, listen, I honestly, I don't measure, guys. And you don't either have to, you know, you don't have to do that either. See, I kind of just want this amount of pickles in there, like just to cover that circumference of the bowl. So I'm going to cut a few more. What this adds is going to add a little sweetness to counterbalance, you know, there's mayo in there, there's onion, so this is going to give a little sweet kick. So I'm just going to do, I'll do a couple more here, real quick here. But before I do, let me check my pasta. Always want to make sure you check your pasta, okay? So
and Matt, a few of our viewers want to know, what kind of tuna are you using, and what is the best kind of tuna to use?
I'm just using solid white albacore. Our pasta's almost ready, just so you know.
Right.
I'm using Starkist, solid white albacore. The reason why I'm using this solid white is that it's not as like some of the other kinds. They're a little too watery. They absorb too much water. They're too mushy, and I can't stand that. This actually is really, like, there's a lot of like meat in there. You know what I mean? So and also it's obviously dolphin friendly. We don't want to be eating tuna that's not dolphin friendly. And Starkist is a pretty good brand. So try some Starkist albacore, all white albacore. So my pasta's, Lily, will you remind me my pasta's ready?
I will.
In like 1 or 2 minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
I won't wait 7 minutes.
Last time I asked Lily to remind me, I was like, remind me in 30 seconds. Like 10 minutes later, she's like, Matt, take your cheesesteaks off. So anyway, I'm just kidding her, but it was pretty fun. You had to be there. All right, so that is, yeah. And if you weren't there, you can watch it on video. All right, so I'm going to pour a little bit of the juice in there. That's going to act as my vinegar, okay? Now, I also have a lemon here. Why do I have a lemon, you ask? Good question. Because lemon is going to give it a little acidic taste, lemon juice, and lemon on seafood goes really well, and it also goes well with mayo. So I'm just going to, you know, squeeze in it's like, this is a quarter of a lemon. We'll squeeze that in, okay? Now, some of my single chef ingredients. I mentioned I'm gonna use a little thousand. I'm gonna pop a little Thousand Island in there because that just Thousand Island rocks. It never hurts. Pop a little bit of that on there. A little hot sauce. For those of us who like things a little spicier, let's pop a little hot sauce in there. A couple of shakes will do. I'm gonna throw a little bit of our garlic powder in there. Boom, just a little, and a little mustard. Tiny bit of mustard. See, oh yeah, yeah, I like it. I don't know what I meant by that. Did I mention I'm in therapy? All right, here we go. And you should be too, because we all have messed up problems. All right, so I'm mixing that all up together here. How am I doing on time here, kids? What was our timing looking like? Anyone?
17.
We're at 17 minutes? Oh, that's fantastic. We're right on time. Okay, so Matt, what's the bet? I'm going to show here on camera. Matt, if you hear me saying Matt, that's our director, Matt Edwards, who's become a good friend. He's a good guy. We love the guy. So that's why I keep saying Matt during these shows. He's upstairs, and I just want to know which is the best camera angle. So look at that coming together. Lily, does that still look gross? Ask Mom, is she watching?
I'll ask her. From here, it looks like tuna salad.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. All right, I had to take my can of mushroom soup. I forgot. I'm going to put this in a saucepan. I'm just going to get it hot, and you'll see what I'm going to do with this, guys. You also have to add a little milk because this is condensed, so check it.
Matt.
Yo.
FF Green.
Okay.
Is not a fan of mayonnaise and wants to know if there's a healthy alternative, not fat-free.
A healthy alternative to milk?
To mayo.
To mayo.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sure there is, but for this recipe, I'm using mayo. FF Green, if you want to go a little healthier, you can get yourself some, go to Whole Foods or go to one of those stores where you can get like a light canola mayo. It's much less, much less in the calorie department, much less fat. But if you really want it to taste awesome, use regular mayo. But you can go a little healthier on that if you want. So guys, good question, FF Green. I'm just mixing up this mushroom soup here with a little milk. Okay, I'm gonna get that nice and warm. And I'm taking my pasta off. I think my pasta's ready. So I need to do a little taste test here. Lily, you know how you know when pasta's ready?
How do you know?
When it rises to the top, like this.
Yeah.
It's like all the penne has risen to the top. That's a good indication that it's ready. And also just by tasting it, that's a good way to know if it's ready.
That's how I can tell.
Yeah. I like mine al dente. That is al dente, so I'm happy with that. I'm gonna strain that, and then we're gonna work on the pasta for a minute.
And you're using penne, aren't you?
I'm using penne pasta, guys. Penne. It's what's for dinner.
Can you use any other kind of pasta with this?
No!
Why not?
Because I say so. Why would you use any other pasta? No. Penne is the best for this because you get a little bit of the tuna fish mushed in the penne, and it's delicious. So what I'm doing here is I have this mushroom soup that's working a little bit, right? Boom, boom. I'm gonna throw my pasta in there. I don't know if anybody else heard that, but that was Matt, our director, just went, mmm. I'm gonna mix that in. Okay. And so this is really heavy, so let me put that down. And I'm just gonna mix that in together, guys. Check it. I'm just gonna do this. Okay. I'm gonna get, and I used a small can of mushroom soup. I don't wanna overwhelm this dish with the mushroom flavor of the soup, so I used a very small can just to add some flavor to it. And now once it's all mixed in together, guess what we're gonna do next? Anybody? Anybody have a guess? No one? No one?
What are we gonna do?
New one? Huh?
What are we gonna do next?
Just take a guess.
We're
just gonna throw it on here. We're just gonna put it over there. That's what we're gonna do. Just like
no
that.
No eating yet?
Yep. And then we're gonna eat. Are you ready to eat? Is anybody ready to eat? You guys ready to eat? So guys, this is, how freaking simple is this? This is really simple stuff, guys. A couple cans of tuna, some onion, some lemon, some bread and butter pickles, little Italian seasoning, Italian breadcrumbs. You cook up your pasta, you cook a little mushroom soup, and you have something that resembles pile of crap. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. It's not. It's really going to be good.
Zoe Grace 11 says she's ready to eat.
Hey, Zoe Grace 11, welcome back to the show. You're a loyal watcher. We love having you. You ready to eat? Zoe, does that mean that you made this too? Okay, get back to us. All right.
And if you can believe it, it smells good.
It does smell good?
Yeah.
I do believe
I never
it.
thought tuna and pasta would
Bring it over,
smell
Lily.
good.
Bring it over.
All right.
Hold on, I'm checking something here. Checking. Oh, great. We're doing great. All right, so I have a couple of paper plates over here.
Okay.
Just to show you a final product here, kids, on camera. I don't know if you can absorb how beautiful that is. Michelangelo will be jealous. But that's going to be a nice tasting product, I'm pretty sure. But
Here you go.
Lily, just tell them how it is, all right? Just please tell them.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
This time.
Serve me.
This time, serve me. Really? Meat logs, serve me. All right.
My mom's watching.
No, it's all good. She doesn't know what a meat log means. All right.
I think she does.
Here. All right, let's go. You ready? This is good old. This is like just.
Do you want,
Yeah,
you're
we should use
using real
spoons.
spoons. All right. Here it goes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow. It's good.
You see, I told you.
No, it is. It's good.
Yeah. You're fired. Anyway, thanks for joining us.
It is. It's really good. You have to come over to my house now and cook it for my mom.
No, seriously, why is it good? A few adjectives.
It's interesting textures.
No, it is. You have to get used to the whole texture thing of it, right?
Yeah, it's yeah, you have to get used to the textures, but they're good textures together. Pasta is simple, and tuna salad is not, and they taste good together.
That's our signal saying that time's up. Listen, guys, I really appreciate you joining. Yeah, I just heard you already. Stop. Thanks for joining us here in theroomlive.com. If this doesn't work out, you can always just make some Kraft macaroni and cheese. But learn how to cook either way, guys, because we don't want to be single forever, right? We'll see you next week on The Single Chef. High and tight, baby.